Yeah, boys. Here we are again. Episode 5, the Locker Room Life podcast. This is me, Frank. Hello. Here with my two good buddies, Logan and Jay. Back at it. Here, now, for ya. So, like we do with every episode, want to rip it around, see what's going on in the boys' life. Some key events that are happening, so just wanted to give it over to my pals. What's up, boys?
Hey, boys. I'm enjoying the semi-subpar awful weather in Ohio, 34 degrees while I'm on spring break here from university, but just a bunch of stuff working. Don't really get a spring break. I have meetings all day, meetings all week. Was at actually my dad's company, Never Made a Pro Stock. We just purchased a lake house and not too far from here. So excited to go to that this summer. Nice little time to spend there. And then hopefully the fellows can come up in the winter and we can get a little ODR on the lake and spend some time there. But yeah, just a bunch of crazy shit happened. And I ended up booking a all-inclusive trip at the end of school as well to Mexico, staying at Platinum Yucatan Princess or whatever it is. But it's a nice resort. Excited. It's going to be like one of my first vacations alone. Yep. I'm a young child. It'll be one of my first vacations alone without my parents. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But Jay, enough about me. Drop the bombs.
You know, I think I left you guys off a week or so ago about a very special game that I had. A championship game for the 35 plus men's league. That's better than my other silver men's league or whatever. Anyways, no big deal. Well, guys, we did it. We fucking did it. We fucking did it, boys. Can you read that? That says Adult League Champs. We got a fucking hat. We got a hat, boys.
A little exclusive for the people who watch on YouTube. You can see the hat.
We got a hat. Adult League Champs trucker hat. They don't make them like this. You know what I'm saying? It's special. Anyways, that's about all I got. Good game, though. Really good game. Yeah.
Give us the highlights. A little bit of a play-by-play. What happened? Can't just leave it off with you won.
Oh, gosh. We started with the first goal, and then they tied it up. Then we went ahead again, and then we got it up to 3-1, and then they kept creeping, and they kept knocking on the door, 3-2. It was like a scoreless second period, and then which was kind of crazy. And then, then it just got away from them. I think it ended up 6-2 with an empty netter. So 5-2 once it started to the wheels fell off for them. Yeah, but very close. Yeah. The week after we had a real barn burner. We were up like 4-1, and then this other team scored 3 goals in like 3 minutes, and then we lost. It was awesome.
It makes me laugh every time Jay fucking gets a little extreme about his men's league things. I know you guys heard the controversial tripping. I mean, Jay's got to keep us updated every time he gets into these games. I think it's going to be a great segment on the show.
That's all I got.
I think we're going to start throwing in, especially on the YouTube channel, so that we can share with our listeners and viewers the amazing clips that we're getting. So we're maybe going to be able to throw in a little bit of a segment, with one of our wonderful sponsors that we forgot to mention, Buddy Hockey Club, newly added Cut Shield Hockey, Best Damn Tape, and Bambino Shave Cream. So without these wonderful sponsors, we could not bring you our wonderful voices and faces across the internet. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on in Arizona. Whole lot of nothing. It's unpredictable weather as usual. One day it's 80 degrees, one day it's 40. So just kind of dealing with that. Back from Minnesota, I'm not going to lie, boys, telling you guys off air, but some kind of back problem or rib problem is ailing me right now. Could have been from the day at the Rock when we were just buzzing and skating our butts off at the end of a trade show.
You did have a couple of falls out there.
Dude,
he did. He did.
Not wearing shins, boys. Falling right on these kneecaps.
Scrubbing the footage. Those knees might need some rebuilding.
more than they did before. They turned to dust when you hit 40, right? They do. They just disintegrate.
Yeah.
Logan, though, I wanted you to elaborate on this innovation of tape that you've been getting me and Jay to beta for you. If you could just tell us a little bit more about it. What's the secret sauce in this?
I love that. Thank you for the little segment, a little pump of the tires of BDT. But for the podcast listeners, this will be the only people who really get to hear this until we come out with the finalized formula. But we're trying to do something with tape. I mean, it's tape. Everyone knows it's pretty hard to be different, except our clear tape. I mean, our clear tape is a little different, but cloth tape is something that's kind of run of the mill. You don't really get any different things. And back in the old days of Gordie Howe and everything, they used a thing called friction tape. And obviously we're not going to make it friction tape because that was a little extreme. But with my manufacturer, we're trying to get this tape to have a little more grip and stick on the outside, and going to try and pull it off as like wax tape already and kind of push there, and that you have more grip without using any wax. And it gives you a higher performance on the cloth tape. So we just need to go through a bunch of different testing. If anyone hears this and wants to try it out, I have some rolls left. Would love to send some out to some people and get some honest feedback. I think it's something that we're trying to do every day and be different. I think it's, like I said before, it's very, very, very hard to be different with tape, but anything we can do that's different and puts our name out there a little more, especially for these pro guys. If these pro guys are like, hey, it feels a little different on this shot, or it feels a little different on this pass, and it helps them out anyway, it's a bonus for us. So thanks, Frank. I appreciate that.
While we're on your tape, we should probably talk about your clear tape, because it really threw me for a loop.
Oh, yeah?
I think the first time I used it, I was like, oh, my shin guards feel like they're going to fall off. Like I didn't put it on tight enough. Because I'm so used to normal clear tape, and you pull it to get a good lockdown, and you snap it all the time. You're
100% right. And that's, I mean, with some people that have used the clear tape, I mean, I stand by that thing. I mean, definitely biased, of course, but all of my teammates, if you know how to apply it and you can stretch the tape, it's different than, I won't say the other names, but it's different than everything else on the market. You're not gonna, if you're trying to pull it like this and pull it around your leg, it's not gonna snap. And you can pull it and make it tight, and you don't need to use as much tape to keep it tight. I think that's a big thing we like to lean into. And Jay's completely right. If you don't know how to put it on and it takes a few goes on it, it can be a little hard. But once you do, damn, your shin guards are not coming off. Your socks are staying in the right place. And I mean, I was a player growing up. I know we talked about this a little bit before, but it will give you the best style on the ice as well. I know I don't talk about that much with the company, because it's kind of a hard thing to push out there, but the style that you have on the ice with that tape is just, chef's kiss. I can't even describe it. And definitely a little biased, but I'm glad all the boys,
we know that's the
like
most important. We know that's the most important thing.
Come on. I mean,
look good, play good.
I mean, you can ask. We need to we said this before. We need to get some call-ins and ask how the style was. That was one thing I was never faltering in, and I know all my boys listening out there, they know. They know I may have been a practice player, may have not been able to buzz around in the game sometimes, but goddamn, did I look good. And that was, it made me happy. I mean, it was always fun. I can't even describe how many times players would come up to me and ask me to use my tape and just bug me to use that tape. And I made it into a brand. And now that's what you've been looking at for the past 2.5 years doing this. But thanks, guys. That makes my tummy warm, my heart warm. Thanks.
If I could see Jay's face again when he saw your mom at the booth in Minnesota demonstrating the stretch of that tape, it was like he had just seen a Sasquatch in the middle of the auditorium running around.
My God! I was wondering where that was going. Holy smokes!
Oh my God.
She was like pulling the tape off the thing, and then was like, I was like, hold on a second. I'm like, what? Yeah.
Jay turns to me. He's like, Did you see the clear tape? Like, I didn't even freaking know. And it was like the light bulbs went bing. It was amazing.
I am an avid supporter of the best damn clear tape now.
On another note, wanted to also, Jay and I are the owners of Buddy Hockey Club, so be remiss to not mention the fact that we just dropped a new collection, the Backcheck collection, available on buddyhockey.com. We're super pumped on it. Jay, talk about it. It's been so much work in the process of getting it done, but we're super hyped to have it out there circulating, and it's been some good responses out there. So
yeah, it's cool. Just black and white stuff, simple collection. Shot it kind of dark, only really showing black and white photos of it. We are stoked on it. I love it, the way it looks. I think, the simple style, I think we kind of wear that too. So you see me in it every day. We also are live on Instagram shop.
Ooh.
What a hassle.
Oh my gosh. It's awful. It's the worst thing in the world. I haven't even wrapped my head around trying that out. It's absolutely brutal.
If you see a brand out there selling on Instagram, you need to know what they went through to be able to sell to you. So buy something, because it's so fucking hard to figure it out.
He's not lying, people.
It's insanely hard. We had to switch platforms for our website to a whole new platform. We had to move from one to Shopify, which is not easy. Shopify is also not very easy for just the average person to figure out and run. We lost our original domain name to the internet ether. We were still tracking it down. We have buddyhockey.com now. So if you are searching Buddy Hockey Club and you don't find us, search Buddy Hockey. That was also a nightmare. Anyways, we figured it out. We're live. Website
awesome.
And Instagram shop. Check us out. Whatever.
Yeah.
No big deal. New collection just dropped.
Not a big deal, boys. But I mean, fuck. That parlays into this great episode 5 that we have. I mean, another kind of keeping the theme of media and hockey, and another great entrepreneur kind of in the space, been through hell and kind of the hockey world, and been through the nitty gritty of juniors, been through the nitty gritty of NCAA. And he has really great stories. We have a couple funny laughs in there about some scratch stories. Can't wait for you to hear those. But it's awesome. He just launched Gladiator Energy. Super cool, super clean energy drink. He's looking to make it the biggest sports drink in the world. And I love his vision for that. And he's really using Beer League Beauties, the platform for content, relatable memes for everyone. And that's the thing that's grabbing people's attention these days. And super, super excited for you guys to hear this podcast.
Yeah, he's a really amazing example, again, of the hockey journey. We talk about it. And again, it's the things that unite us as players, but also kind of post game, right? Like everything that we collectively as a group are doing after the fact, after the game, and together being able to kind of unite and continue that community together. I think it's another amazing show of us as a community. And I say it all the time, but hockey really is community, and being able to together find some way somehow to stay connected. And it just is like that. It's a brotherhood, man. And being able to continue that on has been really cool. Braden has an amazing story. I think he's really raw and really real about the true emotions that go along with the struggle, and also dealing with the game, everything that it brings to you emotionally, physically, mentally. So it's really amazing to see the things that he's built, but also the things that he's continually building with Gladiator Energy, and we support it. We support guys like that, and we support amazing people that support us as well. So really excited for you guys to hear it. And on that note, let me cue up the next interview. Braedan Logue, Beer League Beauties, and Gladiator Energy. Enjoy, guys.
Boys, welcome back to another episode of the Locker Room Life podcast. We're here with the man, the myth, the legend, Braedan Logue, the mind behind Beer League Beauties podcast. Had the pleasure of going on there, talking about my business, talking about me a little more than you already hear about on the pod. But he's awesome, man. He's also the co-founder of Gladiator Energy. Excited to talk about that a little more throughout this podcast. He's a cool dude, really stepped away to become an entrepreneur, and I have a lot of respect for him in that regard. And he had a super cool hockey journey and played at super high levels. So super pumped to get them on here, shoot the shit, and get this thing rolling.
Braden, I think the best place to start, like we do with everybody else, is kind of current state of everything, what you're working on with both businesses. And then we can dive a little bit deeper in how you got here and the journey.
Yeah, boys, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a pleasure. And shout out to Best Damn Tape and Buddy Hockey Club.
Yes, there you
Yes.
go.
Boom.
Yeah, let's go.
Business is booming.
Yeah. Always a good
Yeah.
thing, my friend. Beer League Beauties, like, was that kind of first? Was the first thing that you started?
So my friend Zach Smith, he's my business partner. He's the wizard behind Gladiator Energy. He created the formula, created the idea of Gladiator Energy. And so he had that business running. It was up and going, but he was pushing me to, hey, can you try to make something of your own? So the Beer League Beauties came along, and it was a school project, but he was the one that told me, like, hey, I think you should start your own podcast. You should create something of your own. And then later on that school year, it was a project to create whatever it is. And so I was like, you know what? I was talking with Zach Smith about making my own podcast. I'm going to use it for a project. And so the school project was create whatever it was, but I created a podcast. And it was just for shits. Started off at 0 followers. I wasn't too sure on it, but I just kept going with it. Started off with my hockey friends. Just, it's pretty cool to capture all those moments. Like you have all those moments in the locker room, and then to be able to talk about it, kind of how you guys are doing, to capture those moments is pretty cool. And then I just stuck with it. Then it turned into hockey facility tours, which is really cool. I wish someone was doing that when I was going into college or trying to play junior hockey, to see those facilities. And then, so Logan, right before you asked me to jump on the podcast, like I was actually about to quit the Beer League Beauties. I was one post away from quitting the Beer League Beauties. I was just like, all right, got to lock in with Gladiator Energy. That's what's going to make me the real money. And I just posted one more meme. And boom, million views. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, that's awesome.
Man, that's crazy. We'll get into it a little deeper and later in the podcast, but just media and the kids the media they consume. And it's just so relatable. It's so out there and so funny at the same time, but these kids love it. And it's crazy to see just the growth throughout everything. And leading up to your school project, I know you played hockey your whole life. I want you to break it down from the very beginning when you put on those first skates, when you stepped out there on the ice and you played NCAA hockey player. It's just like you played it at the highest levels possible. So definitely break that down. We'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, sure. It's a little weird, like talking about myself, because it's usually your shoes asking me. So now, I'm talking about myself. So I played prep school hockey with my business partner, Zach Smith, and then we went our separate ways. So that COVID year was my senior year. So I didn't get to play hockey my senior year because of COVID. And then I played a little bit of some junior hockey with the Valley Junior Warriors. And to be honest, dude, I didn't think I was going to play college hockey, which was really scary for me. That was my dream. I'm like, damn, I don't get another shot at this. And then I got the call from Ed Harding. He was looking for extra players. And I was like, you know what? I got the opportunity to go play college hockey and skip junior hockey. So I decided not to play junior hockey, and I went straight to Southern Maine, played there for 2 years, but it was a grind, so I was a scratch. I was in and out, and very depressing when you're not playing and you're just battling in practice. It sucks. So then I thought I'd make the jump to let's go play some Acha hockey. And I played at the University of Kentucky for a semester, and I realized, damn, I'm doing there's a lot of hockey, but there's a lot of boozing. And I just, I realized, if I keep on this path of just boozing, all the time, I mean, it's not going to be good. And I'm not learning anything in class either. Zach Smith, I was talking to him about it. I was like, hey, Zach, all I'm doing is boozing down here. You're not really learning school. And he's like, yo, I'm dropping out right now. screw college. Let's go all in with this business. So I said, fuck it. You know what? I'm done. I'm done with it. And that was the scariest decision I've ever made. And so I no longer associate myself as a hockey player. Like I like hockey, and the Beer League Beauties is keeping me in the game. I'm not a hockey player anymore. I don't even play Beer League just because it's like the scariest breakup of your life. It's like you've been grinding your whole life to play hockey, and boom, it's done. So I'm glad I found an avenue, and I'm glad that Zach Smith was there for me to help me out. So now I can put all that grinding that I had in hockey, I can put it into a business or, Beer League Beauties.
No, Frank, before you jump in, I mean, I think you said a lot of valuable things there. And I know that, I mean, as much as you don't want to say it, I know that you're a hockey player to your core, just from everything you do, everything the grind that you have for your business. I think it does all trickle down to what we had to do our whole lives to get to where we did. Is we all played at pretty decent levels in the sport. So it's a whole different respect level and grind level than a lot of people don't understand. Like I said, a lot of respect for being able to do that. It takes a lot of fucking balls to do that and go full time on a business for sure.
Yeah, we're all here and we can all attest to it. I mean, I had the same experience, we all talk to people once they finally stop playing hockey. And I think you phrased it perfectly, Braden. It is the worst breakup you've ever gone through. And there's really nothing, it's really kind of like your first love, and you go through it and you're, well, I guess it's not going to be too bad, but you miss it for sure. And you step away from it for a while and that kind of heals it a little bit, but it's always in your mind. But I think the best thing that you're doing with it as well is, like you said, you're transferring those kind of, those traits that are embedded in us through the sport, and then moving that and transferring that into like business and other things that you're doing. So like Logan said, man, you're a hockey player to the heart, to the root, and that it's cool because that's what's connecting us right now. But it's awesome to see you pivoting now into some other avenues where you're taking all the things you learned and now moving into the business and everything. But yeah, that's awesome, man. So Gladiator Energy, want to hear just everything about it, because I'm always so amazed with energy, with that space, with the energy drink companies, and definitely just everything that kind of goes on. So maybe you can shed a little bit more light on kind of everything going on with it.
Yeah, sure. Gladiator Energy. So we started a couple years ago. We call it an MVP, so a minimum viable product. That was like a test run the first couple years with that product. We had 3 flavors. Easily one of the healthiest energy drinks. I mean, it had so many things, no preservatives, 0 calories. There's just no bullshit in it. And so we started selling that. Last year was my first year selling, and we got into around 200 stores around here, and we sold out completely. And then we're like, damn, all right, the MVP phase is over now. So we got to, make some new drinks, improve our drinks. So we added creatine, BCAAs, pink Himalayan salts. So you're not putting shit into your body. It's an elite drink. So 200 milligrams of caffeine from green tea.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could be talking about this for forever. I mean, my whole life, I was a big fan of the Nelk Boys. Just growing up, I watched them all the time, and their process of making Happy Dad, it was just so cool to me. And I know you guys do a bunch of different testing videos and different things like that. What is that process like for getting that formula, testing those drinks, getting the right can, and making sure it's all in line?
Yeah. So we had to go to this place in California. That's where they make the formulas. So we flew out there and we had a bunch of taste tests. So this time we made 4 flavors, and they made the drink, the formula. And then, we tried it out, and okay, let's say blue raspberry. Okay, blue raspberry is too sweet. So let's make it less sweet. Let's make it sour. Do it again. And so we went through a bunch of iterations of that through each flavor. So we got 4 flavors coming out. I can actually release them now because I'm assuming this podcast will be out by then. All right. Any guesses for you guys?
Okay, I've seen a red can. I've seen a blue can. I'm saying the blue can is the blue raz you were just mentioning.
Yep.
And I'm saying the red can might be like fruit punch.
Or watermelon.
Boom. Strawberry watermelon.
Ooh. Okay, so what are the 2 other flavors?
So we got pina colada, aka
Oh.
killer coolada. That's what it's Yep. Blue raspberry, which is really good, and orange pineapple.
Oh, wow.
It's
Ooh.
got turmeric in there, but you can't taste the turmeric.
That's man, and I'm like super into kind of like the whole health and wellness space. It's something that I think that a lot of energy drinks and a lot of people are going to start having to move towards, especially these big companies. And it's so cool to see you guys getting a jump on that. I know Frank is a big health freak as well. So it's definitely, I know, appealing to both of us.
Yeah, I mean, BCAAs and creatine, I mean, those are my dailies to get in. I mean, this is, I definitely can't wait to get my hands on it because it's literally, that has now become kind of the daily nutrition that everybody that's active, because I think a lot of, now more than anything, the science has come out on a lot of things where back in the day it used to be like, ooh, creatine, it was like only associated with like weightlifters. And you're like, no, there's a lot of health benefits. There's a lot of things that people taking it daily are finding that it helps you psychologically, it helps you mentally, and it just helps the normal scale of your body from a recovery perspective, but also just being able to unlock a lot of just different things for your body. So I love it. I have a question on, it must be so cool to get in there and like the formulation stages of everything. And that's the first thing, which would be amazing. But with a drink that has a lot of just different, graded ingredients, what's the process of kind of approvals and different things that you guys needed to go through to, to bring it to market?
Yeah. So here's a thing that not a lot of people know is energy drinks actually don't have to be FDA approved. So
Really?
with food, yeah, you got to have it FDA approved. You got to go through a bunch of tests. But so the process of getting those ingredients is pretty crazy. We got to call a bunch of stores. So you got that process, ordering those in bulk, pretty crazy. But funny story, side tangent. So Zach always likes to tell this story. So he started off Gladiator Energy with a blender and bulk supplements. So he was putting the vitamins in like B12. And so I think it's not niacin or something. And so he was putting the micro ingredients in and he was weighing them. And instead of milligrams, he did micrograms or something. And he ended up overdosing his friend and his dad. He didn't drink, but they were itching and they were, yeah.
Yeah, because the niacin's like it makes your skin tingle. It's like you work out and you're like, you feel like you're just, if you take too much of it, you're like, I remember I used to take that a little bit before like a game, especially those like late night games, and I'll just be like,
Yeah.
You're like, just want to just crawl out of your skin and feel as if the dosage is too high. So
it's crazy.
Oh my God.
Man,
go
on, Frank. No, go, Frank. You're good.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, so distribution wise, maybe elaborate, is it around the country, just so we can, the listeners can see where to buy it? I think that's a huge thing for you guys.
Yeah. So we have our website, gladiatorenergydrinks.com. And then we got Amazon coming. So it's going to be
big.
Yep. Amazon is huge. I know there's some Amazon freaks that just like to buy everything. And then, we're working on distribution as well. So around the East Coast. So from Florida all the way up to New Hampshire or Maine.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then, let's say we do really good on Amazon. That leads us into, all right, how can we get it nationwide? How can we get it out to California? And then so once we do distribution around the state, that's when we start talking to, Target, Walmart, the big boys. So
yeah, I'm real big into all this right now with the company and trying to move it to the next steps. We talk a lot. It's just, it's interesting and difficult at the same time. But one thing that I wanted to ask is, do you guys think that you're going to approach any sports teams, like hockey teams? Like I see a lot of hockey teams just eating this up, especially for how many supplements are in it, so how many good things for the players. And I know damn well all those players at those high levels are already taking those things that are in the drink, and it's good for them as well and gives them an energy boost. And from my experience being a hockey player, everyone and their mom is putting caffeine into their system before playing a hockey game. So it's definitely something that I think would be of interest to you guys. Just wondering if you had any thoughts on it.
Yeah, I mean, we want to definitely try to branch out how you're doing and do like partnerships with teams. But right now, the only like sports that we've really ventured into is MMA, like the MMA gyms. So we've been doing a little bit of that, but
It's awesome.
that's in the future. So maybe me and you will have a phone call on how I can get it to teams, little win-win.
Yeah, brother. It's a whole different process. I mean, for the viewers out there who don't know, I mean, some of you may know, but I own a Best Damn Tape, and it's a hockey tape company. And we're really focused on what Braden said. Like, we focus a lot on our team partnerships, and it's just proven very fruitful for us trying to get to these retail stores with making sure we have enough inventory to keep supplying our teams and the people who come to our website and buy it. So it's definitely a big process out there for anyone who's trying to start a business, an entrepreneur of just anything in the retail or product category. It's a lot of crunching numbers, and it's a lot of doing different things like that. So it's awesome to see that process come from the ground up with you guys.
I think the best thing, which I love that you're doing, is you're really making sure and you're refining the product is right. And the best thing is making sure that the product, that you love the product. I think that's number one. We do it, Jay and I do it with Buddy as well. We want to make sure that we love it. And I think if it's all made with the fact that our hearts are in the right place and the intentions are right and like we love it, that excitement level spurs off into the customer. So I think that's amazing that you guys are taking the time. And sometimes you're like, damn, like this is fun, but it's like tedious and like you really want to make sure you get it right. But I think product is king, and especially like with you guys being involved, it's amazing because it's coming from you guys. It's not just, hey, you know what? We want to make a drink company, and then you're like getting these other people to go through the process of actually making sure the product is good, where you're not really in tune with that process. So that's amazing, man. I think that's just, it's a labor of love. So
thank you.
Business is a labor of love, right?
Yeah.
So right now, is it made in a different facility than when it's packed, or how's that whole?
Great question.
You can obviously divulge as much as you feel comfortable with, but what's like the baseline process of of how it all travels through?
Yeah. So we have a manufacturer here in New Hampshire, and so that's where it's bottled and where it's made. And then the formulation is in California. So they formulate it, they make the samples, and then where they make it. So we got to get the ingredients. This time around, we printed some painted cans. So that was a different process because last time with our MVP, we had plastic labels like an IPA label. And so this time we had printed. So that was a big process. Took super long to get there. And then, put those steps together and we make the drink. We bottle it in New Hampshire.
I mean, just for media approach, and then I kind of want to pivot to something you said earlier, but energy drink is a very saturated market. There's a lot of big players, a lot of people who have sucked up a lot of the space, especially in the past year with Prime just introducing the energy drink. Like every kid is chasing around those things. Like just a question on market positioning. Like where do you think that you'll find your best niche within your audience? And how do you think you'll get there to like a big dog spot?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're hoping Amazon's going to be a big part.
It will.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very hard to blow up on Instagram. I mean, you got to post so much. We all know. So I think the Instagram part, is going to take a little longer, but I think we can, blow up through Amazon and, through distribution, really. Maybe not the best online presence with social media, but I think the sales will do it for us in that part.
Yeah. I think the grassroots connection, always a good thing to build. Me and Frank talk about that. Me, Frank, and Jay. Shout out Jay, our partner who couldn't be here today, doing his fatherly duties. But just like the grassroots connections with your audience and your fans, like what we're trying to do with the podcast, what we're trying to do with all of our brands is something that like can't be replicated. It shows like the genuine like love you have for your audience and your brand. So I think definitely distribution is a big key in that for sure. Frank, I know you're going to say something.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, and like we talked about earlier, I think partnerships is a big thing. We all know the struggle / thing that drives us nuts about social media is it's like tedious and the algorithm, blah, 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 blah. But I think if there's one positive that's come out of it all is everybody is actually at this point right now happy to like collaborate together, which I think is awesome. I really feel like that pendulum has shifted because a lot of times, remember when social media first came to light, everybody was still taking that old school mentality of like protecting what they had because they were scared. But then you realize that the information is fucking out there for everybody to see. So, but then it was a two-sided coin, right? Because in order to become bigger, it was really more how much you let people into what was really going on. So I think the guards went down and we were able to say, hey, you know what? This is my company. This is my brand. This is what I do. We're stronger together and we're stronger if we build a partnership and together you can tackle, a bigger space and cross promote together so that you can be able to, just be able to expose each other to each other's audiences, which I think is awesome. And I know we said at the top of the show, but that's the reason why we did it is like, we want to have something that is of purpose, but more importantly, is really building a community and a connection. If there's some way that we can have a part in connecting people and presences and having partnerships with people that and maybe never would have met each other or known each other, I think that's a pretty powerful thing to do. And I think, hockey to the root of it is where it brought us and this is how we got here. But I think we all are in agreement that there's a lot more out there. And I feel like just being able to have a platform to do that, I think it's a pretty powerful thing. You're doing an amazing job, man. I think that being in business right now is tough, as you know that. But I think from a growth standpoint, what is your biggest kind of initiatives for the company in the near future? I know distribution and everything, but where do you see yourself market-wise? Do you see it as like a multi-sport? Where's like the bigger picture view of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, we don't want to just be hockey. We don't want to just be surfing. We want to be everything. We want the blue collar people, people that are working really tough jobs. We want everyone drinking it, whether you're going into working out or you need a quick jolt of energy. We tried to make it a healthier energy drink because some older folks will say, oh, I hate energy drinks because it gives you heart palpitations or it's just filled with bad things. No, we want to market to the older people too. We want to market to everyone. But really the demographic is us, all athletes right now. We're in the younger phase of life and, we want to get to every single sport. Kind of like a Red Bull, market.
Yep.
Red Bull doesn't just market their energy drink. You barely see their energy drink, but
never do.
You see surfing, you see skiing, you see hockey, You see everything, man.
So. Yeah. I mean, I love that approach. I say the same thing for my tape company. People may call me crazy when I say I want to be the biggest athletic sports tape company in the world. But I mean, just to take it a step back, Pat, before the company and everything like this, you said something that hits home pretty hard for me. I'm not sure about Frank because he was a stud, but the scratch life. This is the Locker Room Life podcast. I was a big victim of it. I will say it's almost unbearable. Like Braden said, you're just battling in practice for basically no reason, which you feel like. And I know for any hockey players out there listening, you've probably been scratched unless you're Connor Bedard or someone like that. I mean, it happens, but to really ride that feeling and feel it every single day, every morning you wake up, it's something that changed you as a human being, I feel like. And I just want to hear your thoughts on it. I know it's a very big thing in the sport of hockey, and there's not, obviously you have football and their big ass team, but in hockey, it's really a whole different breed. Coach will put the lineup sheet on the door right before the game starts and boom, that's it. And you were preparing all day for a game and you got to go get hot dogs with the moms after. So it's something tough, and I'd love to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah. I mean, it hit me pretty damn hard, my freshman year, which is typical. I mean, I played 2 games that year. So the first semester, I thought it was, all right, he's just waiting to put me in. You're just grinding in practice and blah, blah, blah. And then the second semester, I got 2 games and I knew I could get in, but now it's just really weighing in on me like, damn, I'm a scratch again today. And it's harder to keep that smile on your face, but it's really the guys around you that are going to pick you up. So you got to find that one friend that maybe is a scratch. I had a really good friend that, man, besides like the hockey and the hurt,
Such a good topic. Such a good topic. Scratch buddies. Sorry, go on.
scratch buddies, man. Scratch buddies are great. So, man, that one kid just absolutely saved me. And it's crazy to think that a sport can put you into depression because, damn, it low key, I was sitting in my bed the whole day, not doing anything. And that kid would get me out of bed. You know, he'd be like, hey, let's get up, let's hang out. So it sucks. But, my sophomore year, I did everything I could. I had the best summer of my life, with hockey, just put it all into hockey. Whenever I had free time, I'm stick handling, I'm 100 shots every day, more than that. I mean, I was coaching, but I was just trying to get on the ice, dedicated my whole summer to that. And that year, dude, scratch life again. It didn't matter what I did. I'm happy I gave it everything that I could, and I have no regrets with it. But damn, yeah, that scratch life sucks. And then that's when the love of the game kind of fizzled out, and I'm like, damn, I can't be depressed over this.
I know Frank's gonna jump in here, but just like you say it better than anyone, man. I mean, I'll save my scratch stories for after Frank goes, but it's just like we wanted to bring this up a little later in the pod, but it's just like these kids, they have so much hope and dreams to go to these next levels, and they get to the next level and you're getting fed a dried biscuit with gravy that's 2 weeks old for breakfast. And if you're not the cream of the crop, that's what you're getting. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disrespect any junior teams or anything. It's just how the game has been. And I will say that in that regard, with junior hockey and even moving into NCAA at some levels, like my buddy, I won't say where he played at, but just grind his heart out the whole season. Never played in the USHL, didn't get scratched a single game, and goes to school, big school, great school, and plays 7 games. Just completely different confidence level, and it shows and it hits. And they go into the meetings at the end of the year, and it's just like, you can stay, but you won't play for the next 3 years. You'll be here. And it's just, man, the fact that a sport is, yeah, you get a full ride to do that, but you did your whole life for this, just wasted away sitting in the stands. And it's definitely hard.
I had the same experience. I left home early, went to prep school. As we go through the process too, right? Your confidence level peaks, and I was playing in like even the not that old, but like the pre-internet area where I can only imagine, the pressure of growing up in the social media age as a player. And I'm talking just even these kids that are like 14, 13, 14, even younger than that, 10-year-old all the way up to how old they are with their parents get them a phone, But back to my experience, I mean, I left home early, went to juniors, went to a great team, so I was thankful for that, but wasn't playing that much, and it's such a pendulum,
not a big deal. Sorry.
It's such a pendulum swing, and you go from like playing all the games to just jumping in and out, and like you said, just staying incentivized in practice, and then thoughts start to creep in your head that shouldn't even be there in the first place, but because you're so like detached from everything, you start to focus in on like stuff that doesn't really mean anything, and like you can get in your head really quick about it, and then the games that you are in, you're carrying a weight on your back because you feel like it's the be all end all, and you need to make it happen that game or else, and it's tough, man. And that's why I feel like mental toughness in hockey players, obviously we're biased, but I feel like that we're the toughest mentally because it's a grind, and being able to push through that. And yeah, I just, and I have no qualms in hiding from the fact that, my hockey career ended because of my own mistakes, but I will admit that I was really burnt out. And now when you step away from it after a couple of years, I'm like, was I really burnt out on the game, or was I really burnt out on how it all panned out? And it took me a while to really figure that out, But again, man, I think that's what Logan and I and our partner Jay always talk about, is like doing this is about like our hockey soul. It feeds our hockey soul, and it's always nice to talk to guys that have those experiences. So together we can just know that, you know what, man, it's like we all go through the same thing. And if we can offer something for the next generation of players to know that, hey, you know what, they're going to go through it. It's going to suck sometimes, be really bad, but at least they know that guys ahead of them have gone through it. And like I said, the social media side of it is like these kids that are growing up now, it's amazing when you're on top. But again, that when you're questionable, I mean, you can get shredded. And these kids, these poor kids, man, I feel like they can really get into a bad place really quickly. And it's a good and bad, but yeah, modern hockey now, it's crazy.
So yeah, I mean, just talking about the whole scratch thing and back to myself and the company, it started because I was a scratch hockey player in the NCDC. That's the reason I have the company. It's the reason I have pretty much everything that up to this point. So yeah, we were talking about being a scratch and doing the whole process between going to the rink, slaving there for however many hours of the day, and then coming back to kind of nothing. And like I was saying before, BDT wouldn't have started without me being a scratch in hockey. I realized I was more than just a name on a sheet and more than just a hockey player, another meat to be passed around to another team. And it was to push me away from it, starting to foster some love for it here. I can see myself going back in the next year or so. Just need to make sure everything gets in line. Definitely in the same boat as you, Braden. But it's just crazy. And I mean, maybe a little forewarning before, but I want to hear all the boys' best scratch stories. I mean, I can start first, let the fellas think about it. But I was playing for a junior team, not to be named. They folded since my playing time there. But
I scratched you?
Well, possibly. But so we were going to like the biggest NCDC showcase. It's the Hitmen showcase. Pumped up. Boys are taking me on the bus and going, let's go. I'm pumped up, gonna get a game. LFG, texting the parents, hey, I'm on the bus, let's go. Little did I know when I got there that weekend, there was zero intention of putting me in the lineup a singular time. I was basically puck boy for 4 games at the showcase, just filling up waters and a bunch of shit. But to that point, Hitmen rink. If anyone's listening from the New Jersey Hitmen out here, I commend you. You have the best concession stand in the country. The best concession stand in the entire country. Hands down, no facts. I will argue with anyone. Trust me, I spent 4 days there. I understand. It was unbelievable. I ordered like a whole Chinese dinner plate, brought it back to my seat in the fucking rink. And I shit you not, I'm staring across the rink and all I see is the head coach just staring at me, eating this food. And I'm like, bro, what could I possibly have done? And turns out I have to also, Hitmen, coldest rink in America. I have to put my food down and let it get ice cold in this rink while I go fetch stick and tape for these guys. I come back, my food is eaten by the other scratches. End of story. It's done. It's done. And it's just like, that's the epitome of being a scratch hockey player right there in a nutshell.
That's an all-time scratch story right there. I don't know if I can beat that one. But yeah, I mean, so similar to yours, I got the call and, I jumped on the bus with the guys and actually I didn't get the call. I didn't think I was going to play. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should leave my gear. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I almost did it. And it was like this close. I'm like, but this time I brought the gear and we got to Hobart, which is like one of the best team, like number 1 team in that league. And I'm like, shit, if I were to ever play Hobart, this would be fucked. And so one guy actually got scratched. And he's like, you know what? We're putting this guy in. And so I get my gear and I got my skates on and shit. And I look down and my fucking blade's not in there. I'm like, oh my, blade's not in there. And I'm like, all right, it's either I start acting around and I get a blade. And so I'm just like, hey, what skate size are you? I didn't want to tell anyone. I'm like, hey, what skate size are you? No one had my fucking skate size. I swear, no one. And I'm just like, you know what? I got to take one for the team. And I right before warm ups, I just drop. I go, oh fuck, my ankle, and I was like, no, I'm not playing. It was my time to shine, but
Bro,
I
that
just
may be the most all-time story I've ever heard. I feel the same exact way. Every player has felt the same exact way. If you told your coach you forgot your fucking blade when it's go time, he's probably going to listen to this pod and be like, no fucking way.
I
No
hope it does.
way.
but fuck, yeah, that was.
Oh my God.
I don't want to tell the boys, about it. I
So
just,
you had to fake the gunshot.
yeah,
Sniper in the stands.
I still haven't really told anyone about that, but
Breaking
Well,
news.
I hope
Breaking
they know.
news, Locker Room Life podcast.
So
Frank,
it's like,
Yeah.
Braden,
I know
it's
it's gonna be
therapeutic, man.
great.
Just it feels good to it's therapeutic. Just let it go. let that weight fly off you.
Yeah,
I know.
off the shoulders.
I know this is gonna be good, Frank. Lay it on me.
Yeah, let's
Dude,
hear-
you know what? Those two are beauties. In all honesty, mine's a little bit more like kind of coach's head games. My whole thing with my coach in Des Moines, Scott Owens, love the guy. Great, one of the greatest coaches, ended up coaching college, the whole deal. But he asked me, he's like, what team do you really want to play for? And as a rookie, he knew, hey, you know what? You're not going to be in all the games, so forth, so on. I said, I really want to play the U.S. national development team, right? I was like, that was really which team I really wanted to go up against. So, yeah, he's okay, perfect. Right before we went on this gnarly road trip, Des Moines, all the way to Ann Arbor, Michigan. So, yep, USA. Kept saying, yeah, USA. So as we're going through this road trip, 5 games, it's a long road trip. Finally, we get to Ann Arbor. He's like, hey, be ready. You get ready. You're going, I'm all ready. Night before, ready. Do morning skate in Ann Arbor. Just name not on the board. I'm just like, fuck, this fucking sucks, And then he's like, oh yeah, we'll get you in there. We'll get you in that at some point. And I'm just like, and we all had that feeling. It sucks. It's like a gut punch, right? And then I'm just like super bummed out about it. And then if there was anything else that could be worse for me to do at that point too, is we take this long road trip all the way back after that heartbreak. And at 2 a.m, when we get back to Des Moines, Iowa, the rookies have to clean the fucking bus after all the vets in the back of the bus have been chewing for 14 hours straight on the sleeper
floor.
bus. And this is back in the day, dude. Everyone was just doing it. It was all chew, right? So like the Aquafina bottles with all the chew in it, like half of it, sometimes when they open, they roll under the seats. It's just, and you're just like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I was just like, is this what my life has become? But fuck, we've all been there, man. But yeah, it sucks. But
it's all part of the journey. It's what led us to where we are. It's what led us to talking on this podcast. 3 of us at 10:30 at night Eastern time. Yep. And I think it's just the beauty of the game. And I mean, I can't say enough great things about the sport of hockey. I know we talk about it on the podcast. And to pivot back to reality and media in hockey, we ask a lot of our guests this question just because it is ever changing. It is just every day you see a new trend come out. You obviously understand this. And it's just like, do you think it's, and Frank said it, growing up in the social media era for these kids, do you think it's good for these kids to see these players committing to these colleges at 14, 15 years old and being able to see it everywhere? And then just like the state of the game with the influencers, like obviously it's good for the whole sport, but definitely would love to hear your take on it.
Yeah. I'm trying to put myself in my shoes when I was like younger and seeing all that.
Yeah. Because we experienced it. Frank, not so much. Like everywhere we went on our social media, especially you and me, like before the NCAA rule even existed, we had kids who were 14 we were playing against when we'd come home from 7th grade to be committed to Notre Dame. And we're just like, what? It's just crazy.
Yeah. I think I wish I deleted my Instagram, to be honest, when I was growing up or going into high school. I think I would have put more effort, not worrying about, oh, this guy's good on this team. Oh, I got to look like this guy or this style or whatever it is. I wish I just deleted it.
Yeah, me too, man. I think that's just like a cut and short answer on really that whole thing. It's I mean, I'll even say it myself. Like I've come to grips with it. Me and Frank have had venting sessions about my hockey career. And it's just, yeah, man, you see all these kids, especially like the ones, what year are you?
01.
So 01, yeah, your birth year is disgusting. Your birth year is Jack Hughes. It's just like, it's crazy. And you're seeing these kids from the age they're 12 grow up and you're just like, wow. You see them on everything. You see them on every highlight reel, on Wagon Hockey, shout out Wagon Hockey. And it's just crazy. And definitely when I went to Michigan, all the big names everyone on this podcast knows, it's a hockey hotbed for everyone. And just really paying too much attention to who I'm going to play, where these guys are going to get drafted to, what my style looks like. I was a big guy on that. Shout out to all my old friends listening. You know, I always will have better style than any of you. It's just, that's one thing I can make for certain in that category. But yeah, I know Frank and me are very vocal about this for sure.
Yeah, I think, again, it's tough. It's tough. The state of the game is, the game's in a good place, I think, on the highest level. I think the NHL's in the healthiest level. As we know with the new CHL ruling, and kind of the competition level is going to be insane, right? We know the trickle-down effect of, you know, kids playing in the CHL going to be able to play college, vice versa. It's just going to be this consistent jump around of like teams stacking, you know, the best teams possible. Kids have so many options right now, but I think also there's a lot of leagues. Does it dilute the talent? I don't know. It's up for debate. Is it a good thing? I don't know. Same thing. It's up for debate, you know, but I will say it's a little bit tougher for these kids to focus in on what they're supposed to be focusing in on, because like you guys said, it's always best. Remember when you'd play a team and you knew nothing about them? It's like you would just be able to play. You wouldn't have to worry about this guy's their guy. This guy's drafted here. This guy scored 50 last year. And you're just like, it's subconsciously you're already defeated. And whether somebody admits it or not, you're lying, because it plays a part in how you prepare for yourself. You know, if you just went out there and you didn't know anything about the team, even I used to do this thing where I wouldn't want to watch the team we were playing, like before, you know how the way the tournament schedules would roll out or whatever.
Yeah.
I used to hate watching the team that we were about to play, because you start to build these perceptions in your head, and then
that
you're
guy's
like,
gross.
Yeah, that guy's sick. He's gonna fucking dangle me, or this guy's just, this team's good, you know. And you're in your own head so much. And I always see that amplified with social media now. You know, these kids are so about every aspect of everything. There's no surprise to anything, where I think it's a bad thing from the sense of just being mentally defeated, where you can't just have that obliviousness of just going out there and playing and like just leaving it all out there. And it is what it is. If it works out, cool. If not, then at least you played your best, you know. But hockey's a business. I get it. It's ever changing. It's ever growing. I wanted to ask your opinion. We always have this debate on prep schools and hockey academies. Braden, what's your thought on it?
That's cool. I mean, I'm going to go back to what you were just saying. You couldn't have said that any better. That was actually perfect.
Frank's the man. Frank is like Buddha reincarnated. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Wow, that was good. Prep school or hockey academies? I would say, what I really want to say is I would like to see the public high schools get good at hockey again, because it used to be really good.
Yeah.
You would see guys from public high schools going right into college, or like how like Minnesota high school hockey, you're playing with your town team. You got all your friends, and then you go off and you play, you know, you can go Division I, which is crazy. That's nuts. But nowadays you don't get that. You get kids going straight to hockey academies or U16 hockey, and you don't get that. You don't get like the social bonding of going to high school parties or whatever it is, you know?
No, it's the truth.
Socializing. But I like prep school better than the hockey academies now. It's the other way now. Now it's all hockey academies. Just because if you want to get to that level, you got to do everything you can. If that hockey academy has a good facility, they got saunas, they got the ice tub, they got the gym, and that prep school doesn't, I'm going hockey academy.
Yes.
It's, and like you said, with kind of like the whole atmosphere of things. Like, we're all kind of prep school, like we're all alumni of a prep school. And I will say personally, like, I could have gone to play for Little Caesars my 16U year and probably would have been better for me as a hockey player. Probably still would have been a scumbag hockey player, just trying to keep going along. But it's just like prep school gives you a little more, I think it grounds you a little bit. At the same time, you're hit with a lot of things. You're staying away from your family. And you also have that community feel as well. And you get the experience to go to high school parties and graduate high school with your teammates and graduate high school with your friends. It's an unmatched experience that I will be sending my kid to prep school no matter what. I just think it builds so much character as a human. Even if they're playing underwater basket weaving, they're going to prep school. I just think it's great for your kids' education. I experienced, I'm a product of it. And yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that for sure. And I know as we start to wrap this up and get towards the end of it, we do like to ask just really your initiatives, what you have planned this next year, if it's Beer League Beauties, if it's something else, if it's something with Gladiator, let the whole world know what is on the agenda for summer 2025.
Yeah, I definitely want to continue the Beer League Beauties. Since I was literally on the doorstep of quitting, I find that so funny. I started seeing it dwindling and I'm not getting as many views. I was like, you know what? Let's make some money with Gladiator. But I got that one video, man. It took that one video. And so that after getting that million views on that one post, that led me to emailing UMass Amherst and getting that facility tour. So that week that I got a million views, I went straight to my next facility tour. So my goal with the Beer League Beauties is to, now it's a meme page, but I want to continue to do the podcast, continue to do the facility tours. But I said I'm not doing another facility tour unless it's an NHL facility. So I want to go do the Bruins next. I'm not going to stop until I get it. So
That's awesome.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it, bro. And I mean, I know you were talking about Gladiator too. Just let everyone know where they can find it, buy it, drop your website, drop your socials, drop all that.
Yeah, Gladiator Energy Drinks.com. You can buy it. We're going to have a little discount code the first week, 15% off. So there's going to be variety packs. So you can get all 4 of them. That'll be a 4-pack. And then we got our 12 packs in each flavor. So you got blue raspberry, strawberry watermelon, pina colada, orange pineapple. And then we'll be on Amazon as well. So you can buy there. And hopefully, within the next couple of years, we'll try to get it nationwide.
That's awesome, man. I know that we can't thank you enough for coming on. I think the biggest thing and the consistencies with everybody we bring on here is there is a story to it all. We're all here at this stage because of everything that's happened through the course of the journey. And this was awesome, man. Just to have you, like we said, pivoting over and taking everything from hockey and moving it into your businesses right now. It's awesome. And we thank you so much for taking the time, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Just a super raw take on you as a person. I definitely think it's nice that we got a little vulnerable here on the podcast. I felt some type of way about it. I really enjoyed it.
I'm actually a little mentally scarred after bringing up that story that I completely forgot about. Yeah.
I was going to go stare at his ceiling tonight. But again, brother, thank you so much. We'll be getting this out here soon, and we can't wait to keep bringing all you guys, all you listeners, more Locker Room Life content.
We also want to bring you on at some point too for a little check-in. We want to do these really cool little mini check-ins with everybody we've been blessed to have on the pod and keep those relationships going. So keep it going, brother. We
appreciate you guys. Super cool what you guys are doing too, to bring those hockey locker room experiences to life.
Thanks again to Braedan Logue for joining the Locker Room Life podcast. Again, like we talked about previous, just amazing to hear the journey. But more importantly, everything that he's doing now. Gladiator Energy, check it out. We're ordering the new flavors. Guys, what are you thinking?
I've known Braden for a little bit now. We've tried to, I was on his podcast as well, done a lot of cross-promoting on different things. And this new Gladiator V2 is legit. They are pounding the pavement, really legit guys, legit entrepreneurs, and super excited. I'm excited too. I know Jay was talking about trying these flavors out, but I'm excited to try these flavors out as well. I mean, I know one that caught my mind was Killer Culata, so I need to get out there. I need to try it and become a big fan of it, and I hope all of you do too.
I can't wait to add this into my nightly rotation for 10 p.m. games. Gonna need to step it up. Let's go.
Guys, again, another killer episode. Thanks to our sponsors, Buddy Hockey Club, Cut Shield Hockey, Best Damn Tape, and Bambino Shave Cream. Boys, I just want to say, I love you guys, man. Always excited to be here with you guys, chatting it up and building this amazing thing together. So thanks for everyone who listened, and we appreciate your time for listening to us. Have a good day.